if I had to give advice to first year students about the importance of getting involved and how to get involved, it would be very simple. Ask. Ask the people around you, ask the staff members you run into, ask faculty members what it is that made them engaged and made them passionate about being here. And not to take what they say as what's going to work for you, but what it's going to do is give you all kinds of opportunities to understand where you can go to sample things, try different things, and discover what it is that's going to work for you. Why get involved? It's pretty simple. I mean, if you go onto Google and type in academic achievement and extracurricular involvement, you'll find over 100,000 different hits that talk about the way that the two are positively correlated. The best students are the ones that find ways to engage their passions both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. What it does is it simply makes your brain more energized. It simply makes you more well-rounded, and it keeps you excited more often. If all you're doing is studying, and inevitably you'll be studying things that you really don't care that much about, not always, but there'll be something in your curriculum that isn't your favorite. If you just have those to focus on, you don't get excited. But if you have a balance in your life of things that you have to do and things that you want to do, you simply become better. And as I try to tell students all the time, the fact of the matter is that your marks should be amazing, but they should be the least impressive thing about you. And if you can manage to succeed at that while you're here and creating that about yourself, great marks, as good as you possibly can make them. But that's not the thing that's the best about you. There's so many more things about how you think, what you've done, and what you're capable of that are more impressive than your transcript. That's when you're going to have success in the world. So that's what the advice that I give to students as to why to get involved. You'll find yourself doing things and doing it with people who are amazing. As for the misconception, quote unquote, that UTSC is a commuter school when there's no campus life, one, the fact it's a commuter school isn't a misconception. It is a commuter school. But the fact there's no campus life, that's not true. The fact of the matter is that there's a vibrant campus life here. The people who say that there isn't don't tend to stay here long enough to find it. And the funny thing is, when you talk to somebody saying there's no campus life here, well, how much time did you spend on campus outside of your classroom last week? Well, none. Well, how are you going to find campus life? Campus life doesn't necessarily reach into your classrooms and pull you out. But if you find reasons to stay here, if you find people to stay here with, campus life is going to find you, whether it's going to be one of our clubs or one of our staff-run organizations or departments. Campus life will find you. There are so many brilliant people here that can inspire you, that can make you more energized, that can make you want to do amazing things, and make you capable of doing things you weren't even aware of if you take the time to take a chance and move outside your comfort zone, which is leaving the campus and going back to your friends from high school, possibly, or going back home and just sort of sitting on the couch and studying, because that's what real students do. The fact of the matter is, leadership and development begins where comfort ends. And you're not going to get anything out of this place if every now and then you don't stick yourself in a spot that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, because it's so worth it in the long run. The Leadership Development Program was created as an effort to try to help as many students as possible recognize the extraordinary impact that they can have. Really, what we're trying to do with the Leadership Development Program is make students want to matter more. And I think that one of the things that we've seen with leadership is it's too often conceived of as being about power, being about positions, being about influence, or having to be charismatic and make great speeches. The fact of the matter is that everybody has the capability of making a positive impact on their own life and on the lives of others. When your friend calls you at 2 in the morning because they're crying because something bad's happened, or they're freaked out about a test the next day, and you have to get up at 9 a.m., but you go over there, that's leadership, because you've made the world better for somebody. The fact is that people say leadership, I think they get it mixed up thinking it's about changing the world, but there is no world. There's only 6.5 billion understandings of it. And if you change one, you've changed the whole world. And that's a huge opportunity and a tremendous responsibility. But for some reason, people just say, oh, I'm just this, or I'm just that. I'm just a first year, or I'm just a quiet person. Don't say I'm just anything. It gives people permission to expect less from you. And what we try to do with the leadership program is make people understand the tremendous ability they have to make an impact, but also to give them constant opportunities to become even more impactful, to become even more impressive as a person. When you aspire to be better, you inspire others to do the same. And what we've done with the leadership program is try to give students constant opportunities to develop new skills and new ideas and new perspectives. There's over 150, we call them modules, which means it could be a lecture or a seminar or a guest speaker, 150 per year that you can go to, You don't have to pay anything, it's free, and as you move through the program, you accumulate credits, and the more credits you get certificates, letters from the university saying the training that you've gotten, but most importantly, you get cool new ideas and perspectives on the world. And this year, we've got Dudley Copeland, a great Canadian author and a huge genius. He'll be coming and speaking. Michael Pinball Clemens will be speaking this year. Jeffrey Rubin, who had the #1 book on Amazon.com, will be speaking. Thomas Homer Dixon, a world-renowned expert on the carbon crisis. Elizabeth May, head of the Green Party of Canada. Peter Mansbridge, host of CBC's The National. All these people will be coming to this campus and giving opportunities for you to engage with them, hear what they have to say, and really grow as a person. And those are the things you can talk about in job interviews, and those are the things that make you impressive to the people that you want to give you jobs. When you talk about getting involved in a leadership program, it's actually very, very simple. Just go to a leadership program event. That's it, and you can sign up there. This year we're making it a little easier to track leadership credits, so we will have cards that you can pick up at the front desk. You can sign up online for the leadership program and pick up a card, or you can just go to an event, fill out the attendance sheet, and they'll contact you when you're in time to pick up your card, and you just take that to every single event, they scan it, and you accumulate credits that way. It's that easy. Go to www.utse-leadership.ca. All the information is there. We wanted to make it easy. We didn't want to make it so you had to sign up in September. If you want to take a little while to get your feet under you in academics, that's okay, but you can go as soon as you want to in September, or you can join in November. It doesn't matter, and you can accumulate credits all through your time here at UTSC, not just in first year, but well beyond. We have first year special workshops, though, that help you develop those programs help you develop those skills that you might need to really excel here, whether it's academic advising and career center workshops on stress management or time management, or figuring out what your strengths are, right on to what your MBTI, Mount Myers-Briggs type inventory style is, your learning style. All these things we can help you learn outside of the classroom so that you can become better inside the classroom. And just show up, that's all we ask. I think the meaning of being a student is figuring out what being a student means to you. And one of the things that has begun to really frustrate me the longer I spend time in higher education is how many students come here, and if you ask them why, they don't really have an answer. They haven't really thought about it. When did you make your decision to come here? I don't know. Did you make the decision to come here, or was it pressure from your school, your parents, other people to show up, and you just kind of went along with it? There's a quotation from Alice in Wonderland that says, Alice came to a fork in the road. Which road do I take? She asked the cat. Well, where do you want to go? Responded the cat. Well, I don't know, said Alice, and the cat looked back at her and said, well, then it doesn't matter. And the fact of the matter is, you can't get what you want from university if you don't decide what it is that you want from university. What is the meaning of being a student? Figuring out what's important to you, not what's important to your parents, not what you think is going to be important to employers. Too many students come to university just to finish it. Don't do that. Come to university to experience it, to grow, to understand things better. Not just concepts and theories, but you. Because the fact of the matter is, Malcolm Gladwell said that the key to good decision making is not knowledge, it is understanding. And we are swimming in the former, and we are desperately lacking in the latter. You guys are going to school in a world where the U.S. Department of Labor says you're going to hold between 10 and 14 jobs before you're 38 years old. One in four people in the workforce now has been with their employer for less than 2 years. 1 in 2 has been with their employer for less than 5. The world is incredibly dynamic, quickly changing. 1 in 8 couples married last year met online. There were more text messages sent per day than there are people on the planet. You are living in the most dynamic, fast-paced, changing world ever. Don't come to university to get good marks. Don't come to university to get a job. Come to university to become the type of people who will be good at jobs. The meaning of being a student is to figure out who you are and why you're great, and then do everything you can to become even greater. Don't look around you for meaning on who you are. Don't look around to your professors or your parents or your friends to tell you what the meaning of your life is. You have to figure that out. And on that day where you walk across the stage and they give you that piece of paper, it's not the piece of paper that matters, it's the person holding it. And start right now asking yourself, what the heck do you want out of these 4 years? Because until you decide where it is you want to go, you can't ever get there. And that's that's what the meaning of being a student is to find the strength and the courage to say, my life is mine, and I'm going to make of it what I want.